What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie gaming, we're going to be checking out Endzone A World Apart, a post-apocalyptic city builder that can probably best be compared to something like Banished, I guess. So if you ever wanted to do Banished but in the post-apocalypse, this is a game that I think is probably barking up that particular tree. Let's go ahead and start a new game. We've got our settlement name. Our settlement name will be Cash Falcon, so that everybody knows that we're all about. We've got metal tools. Apparently we can have a scrap tool, a metal tool, whatever. I don't really know what that part does right there, so I guess we'll take the metal tool for right now. We can take some protective clothing. We can have neck scarves, which I assume are for when it gets really, really cold, or an activated carbon mask, which I don't know what an activated carbon mask does. It probably filters out, like, you can use, you know, like masks that have like granulated coal and whatnot in them, in order to eliminate pollutants, so that might be what that's for. And then over here we also have a radiation suit that we can bring. We've got our distance to water. I'll leave that on its default right there. And we've got our map share code, but I don't think that's going to matter because I don't believe in sharing. Let's go ahead and start our map off and see how this whole thing goes. I think it's going to be pretty fun. All right, this seems to be a suitable place to settle. You know what we learned back in the end zone. Basic needs first. We need to install water and food supplies, and then afterwards... All right, well, here we are. We've started out somewhat close to water. So we've got like a little lake right there, so that'll probably work out just fine. We've got our little dump truck that we started out with. We got like our little food wagon over here that apparently we've been living out of. Lots of resource piles and things laying around that we can probably get our hands on a little bit later. For right now, you don't start out with a lot of water in this game, so you kind of want to get water knocked out first. There's nothing on our goals because we're playing in the sandboxy mode, and so the first big thing we're going to need is a cistern. Not to be confused with the brother, and that's a completely different thing. That's a Warhammer 40k thing, in case you were wondering. And what we can do is we'll put that in right... I think its work area is that little circle right there, and so I think we'll put it in like right here. There we go. And so then we need to assign some people to build. So let's put everybody on building for right now. That'll make this go a little bit faster. And what you'll see is all these little guys in their hazmat suits are going to start running around, picking up all the supplies that we need in order to start building the cistern. It looks like we're going to have rain for the next couple of days. That'll be pretty swell. That'll make our lives a lot easier if we could afford a rain catch, which we can't because we don't have any plastic. So we're going to have to do this the old school way. We're going to have to go and like walk with buckets and whatnot. So this building has now been built, but you might be asking yourself, what does it do? Well, this building acts as the central repository for water. This is the place where you're going to assign your workers in order to go out and get water, but in order for them to do that, we need a place for them to get the water, and that place is called the boardwalk. Down by the boardwalk, down by the sea, ooh yeah. There we go. And so I think these two little guys right here are going to come build the boardwalk. Yep, there they go. They've grabbed the supplies out of the back of the truck, and they're coming on down to make sure that we stay hydrated. You got to hydrate or dehydrate. That's just a fact of life. If you ain't drinking water, you're probably looking all husked out and just like, you're probably not looking good. There we go. So we've got it built. The thing that you're going to need to do that the game doesn't really tell you, so I played through the tutorial, and it took me a second to figure this out, because like I built it, and I failed the tutorial because they weren't gathering water, even though I had the collection point and also the gathering point, which sound like the same thing, but they're really not. We'll call it the work building and the collection point there. That makes it simpler. They need to be linked by clicking this button right here, and nowhere in the tutorial does it say that. And it took me a minute to find that, but there's a good chance that if your building isn't working while you're playing this game, check the building that they will be delivering the object to and see if it has that button right there. It has solved a remarkable amount of problems for me. So the next thing we need is we need water carriers. We need some people to carry some water. So I'm just going to go ahead and assign 2 water carriers, and we'll see what happens with our water right there. I don't know how much they produce with every pull, but what you'll see is these 2 little guys right here are walking on down there. It looks like they've got like disembodied fish aquariums or something. I don't know what they... Oh, I think they're big blue water jugs. They'll come down here. They will gather water, and they're going to bring it on back for everybody. It's going to be boiled and prepared inside of this facility right here, and then you'll see it get added to our stockpile up here in the top left. It's going to be a little bit of a balancing figure to figure out how much of that we're going to need before too long. Looks like there's some mushrooms and stuff out there. Let's think about maybe our food gathering. Let's go down to our food fields down here. We can do a fishing hut. Fishing hut might not be a bad idea. I like fishing. Fishing's fun. I wonder if we need a special building for the fishing. Let's go with a gatherer's hut first. I think a gatherer's hut is a good idea. So this has got a pretty large optimal work area already. even if I put it flush with our main building right there. So let's go ahead and do that. They're going to go throughout the forest, and they're going to forage to get food and all those other little goodies. You guys, yeah, shamble along. Apparently, we are super protected from radiation right now. Those two guys dropped off the water, and it looks like that only gave us like 15. Doesn't look like it gave us very much. Let's give it another watch and just kind of see what happens here. So these guys are taking it up. We're at 585 right now. That took us up to 645. So they're bringing back about 60 water every single run. I can live with that. That seems okay to me. We'll see what happens if we end up with a deficit or like a surplus right there. We'll keep an eye on it just to make sure that we're kind of at an equilibrium, and we'll sort of make things happen one step at a time. So now we've got gatherers. Very nice. So we'll go ahead and take a couple builders off. We'll add a couple of gatherers, and we'll see what that does for our food supply. I do like how this game gives you little paths. You can actually see that they're going to go down here, and you can see what they're going to do when you click on the building. So if I click on this right here, you can see the path that all the water gatherers are taking. You click on this, you can see the path that all of the food gatherers are taking. I think that's a really, really nice feature, and it helps you plan out the routes and make sure that people aren't behaving in a way that is inefficient. We are starting to stack up water a little bit. I think that's a really, really good thing. If we were low on water after assigning these guys, we'd have to adjust the labor flow a little bit. But I feel like we're pretty much where we need to be. The other thing that we're going to need is we need housing for people to live inside of. We've got a house with a tank right there, but we can't really afford it. Go figure. A world you can live in where your house comes with a tank. You can just have your own personal Sherman. I'm going to drop like a couple of houses just around. I'm not going to try to make them too organized or too crazy or anything else like that. I want the area to kind of look natural, I suppose. Like, human beings have this tendency to not really build our dwellings in logical ways. We either build them in like rows or whatever, but if there's no like public authority telling us to build them in rows, then we just kind of do whatever. And so there we go. We got a couple of houses going in because I've got a sneaking suspicion these guys are going to be really, really salty if we don't give them a place to lay down their heads at the end of the day. Looks like our food bounced back. It's a little bit low from where it was, but I think that's just because we just had an influx of people eating. How many people live inside of here? Oh, it holds 5 people. Nice. Okay, so we have 10 people plus 5 children, so we really actually only need 3 of these. I'm going to cancel that construction right there. There's no reason to finish it. Looks like people are more or less healthy. People are more or less happy. Looks like there was a run on our water supply, so we're going to have to figure out what we want to do about that. Let's take off a couple of builders. We'll add them to water carriers just to make sure that doesn't get out of control. We've also got some more hunter-gatherers over here. It looks like we are actually tanking a little tiny bit, which is a little bit worrisome. Sort of concerns me. And we do have water coming in, which is nice. If they're bringing back 60s each time, these guys are eating a lot of food right here. These guys are chowing down right now. Maybe they eat like once a day, and that was just the big run on our resources right there. I don't really know. We'll wait and see how things recover. Water appears to be bouncing back okay. Food appears to be doing a little bit better, but I think they're stopping and eating. I think that's what these guys are doing right here. They're either eating or drinking, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. I think we're going to be okay. It looks like we're bouncing back. I think once a day, we're going to have like a really heavy run on our resources, and then, you know, it's going to look scary for a second, but it appears as though we're recovering. Do these nodes go anywhere? Or do these nodes just, like, exist? It looks like they don't go anywhere. Some goats over there. Oh, dude, we could have got hunters, too. I'm wondering if gathering was not the best idea. Maybe we should have gone with hunters. We do have 1 extra settler, so that's pretty cool. I don't know if we need, like, a scrapper or anything else like that. Give me another builder. And actually, we can play around with tasks and kind of see what happens here because we are getting a little bit low on resources. We can tell them to gather scrap, like, over here and just kind of, like, see what happens. I wonder if that's... Oh, I think that's just a generic flag that you can put down. Take that down real fast. I want a gather all resources thing, like, right there. And then let's say that I take people off a building. Can I then assign them over here? I can. Okay, so unassigned settlers will automatically become gatherers. Gotcha! So I'm learning the dots and tittles right now. I'm learning the dots and tittles. I wonder if they'll go... Yeah, there he goes right there. There he goes right there. He's going off, so he's going to clean up... Oh! He knocked out that entire scrap pile by himself. Nice. Okay. Alright. I think we can make this happen. We're probably going to have to wait for a little bit more immigration to come through. Or I don't know if like people move into our city or how we get new settlers, but we could definitely use more of them. I do feel like we probably have like some weakness in our workflow right now that could be ironed out ever so slightly. I would say to wipe out some trees somewhere, but I'm a little bit worried that killing the forest on that side will lead us into kind of... I don't know if killing the forest is going to get rid of all of the natural food that's growing and regrowing inside of there. And at the moment, we're somewhat reliant on it. We are eating almost exclusively mushroom soup right now, which would be great for me because I love mushrooms. I say add more mushrooms to everything. I think mushrooms are fantastic. I'll put mushrooms on my cereal, you know what I mean? We have 5 settlers without a home. Okay, I can fix that. Let's go ahead and we will have another house built. We were already prepped for this particular situation. We were ready, chat. We were ready. Oh, yeah, you can put that house right there. That's fine. We don't have any builders right now, so we should probably do something about that. Put in a couple of builders. I assume that that's going to overall affect the health or, like, the cheer of our colony. It's going to increase the chance that they will be discontented and overthrow us and, like, mount our head on, like, a post-apocalyptic pike or something like that. I don't know. I've never played this game before. These are my first impressions, having played this and, like, the tutorial. I don't know what happens if the malcontents take control. We probably die horribly, would be my guess. Yeah, you guys can build that whenever you want. It's not, like, uber important, but it is kind of important. Looks like they're clearing out that scrap heap pretty quickly over there. They've knocked that thing out with a quickness. There we go. We got a new house built. Why does it still say that we have homeless people? Interesting. I am curious. Let's see what it adds up to. So we got 5, 9, and 11. So there's a group of people that are not moving into houses for whatever reason. Can't tell you exact. Maybe it's too far from their workplace. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they prioritize living closer to where they work. Let's try. Let's see what happens here. That would be an interesting mechanic that I think most games have not integrated. That would be a very, very interesting... Why are the trees falling down? You guys chopping down trees over here? I don't recall telling you guys to chop down trees. But to my eye, it looks like trees are falling down. Maybe it was just too windy today. I know the feeling. I live in a place where it's, like, perilously windy. And so, like, I know what they're getting at right there. Let's see what happens here. Interesting. So, it doesn't have to do with where their workplace is at. Maybe they just don't assign... Maybe they assign housing at, like, the end of the day or something like that. I'm not really too sure. It looks like one of the 4 that was down here has assigned themselves a home, and it looks like this guy has as well, so... I don't know. Maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe they are, like, out here working for too long. Let's dismantle that real fast. Have them come back home. I want to see what happens once they're all, like, in... Maybe it's just because they're away from the city for too long that it's saying that they're homeless. I honestly have no clue. They shouldn't be homeless. We have plenty of buildings, so hopefully they will move into them with time. Can I assign them a home? Is that a possibility? Let's say that I look at this guy right here. Clothing, house, education. Is there a way for me to assign them to the building? So that I can just handle it like by myself? It looks like they can earn achievements or something right there too. That's kind of cool. Sort of an interesting proposition. Yeah, they shouldn't be homeless right now, but this is like an early access debug build, so we're probably going to run across some issues anyways. I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. The game's not even out yet. This is basically just like a closed beta that they're doing for testing purposes only. And so I have no doubt that the developers will more than likely see this video anyways, and if that's intended, they'll probably fill me in the comments, and if it's not intended, then they're probably working on it. It's all okay. The game's not even out yet. Let's see here. We can have community buildings, so we can have a campfire, so they can increase their confidence right there. We've got a weather station, a medical facility. We can have a pub. It produces ale that can be consumed by settlers. We've got schools and things. We've got a dirt road right there, a simple road that allows fast traveling for our villagers. Interesting. I'm okay with it. Yeah, let's put in some roads. roads and infrastructure seem like a really good idea. I knew there was a reason I left gaps in between everything. There we go. So we'll kind of just run these around. I'm sure the builder will get to it at some point. We also need this to go down to the water supply right there. And so we'll have this kind of... We'll daisy chain the whole thing. There. Builder, where are you at? Oh yeah, there they are right there. They're putting in the dirt road. Does it cost me anything to do the dirt road? It doesn't. It just prettifies the whole thing. Very nice. Good. Well, you know, the great achievement of the Romans was their ability to build roads. And so I think that in the cause of emulating them, it's probably not a bad idea. The more of these roads and things we can get done, I mean, we're good on resources for right now. We have loads of food. We have loads of water. And so I think we've basically found the middle ground in keeping everybody happy. I'm a little bummed out that, like, some of these people won't go live inside of buildings. I have provided for them homes, but unfortunately, they think they're too good for these houses. Feels bad. Feels bad. You go out of your way to do nice things for people, and how do they repay you, you know? How do they repay you? They repay you with scorn and with villainy. We are full on storage capacity right now for our food. So what we need to do is maybe take a worker or two off of that, and we'll just let it trickle downwards for a little bit. We'll allow them to do what it is that they do. We are going to need some more wood pretty soon, so I would suggest we put a task down here to, like, gather some wood and just kind of chop down some trees. We'll see how it goes. I don't know how much we're going to get from each one of these trees, but hopefully it's enough. Oh, wow, they chop down trees fast. They weren't playing over there. That chop animation was, like, instantaneous. Paul Bunyan over here. We've got an extra child now. Cool, children are being born, so I guess we just get population via natural breeding. That's nice to know. Looks like you get a decent amount of wood for chopping down trees. Maybe not like a ton. We got about 30 or 40, though, and your average building costs about 20, so it's not too bad. And we got plenty of scrap sitting around, so I think we'll be all right. Our moisture is looking pretty wild right now. Looks like that area is mostly dry. This area is wet, and that's, like, perfect, I would guess, maybe. Okay. Yeah, move the work area a little bit further in. Bring me back some more wood. I want to be stocked up for the future if I can. So this is a very, very dry area. My guess is that we probably don't want to build any fields and or farms down in there. Hey, we had another child. Nice. Well, I mean, any society where childbirth is happening is a good idea to me. That's over its production limit, so don't even worry about it. I don't think we have to stress. Pretty soon we'll be full up on water, but, like, after looking at it for a minute, I was kind of thinking it's possible that maybe each family wants their own house. Like, I was looking, and every single house seems to have a male, a female, and their associated children, as far as I can tell. Yeah, so maybe each family wants their own house. Maybe that's what it is. Let's try. We're going to build up in this dry space over here. We're going to continue expanding out our weird little shanty town that we've got going on. I'll probably drop this guy, like, right here. I'll probably drop this guy, like, right here, maybe. That looks okay to me. We'll just do 3. 3 sounds good. How much are these costing me? 8 wood and 15 scrap. That's like nothing. The builders will get to it. They'll be all right. Let's put a couple more people on buildings just so it gets done a little bit faster. We can actually, we've got enough water carriers right now. Let's go ahead and add another water carrier real fast. I think we've got enough extra settlers to where we can branch out into a new type of... building here. I think the recycler sounds really, really good because some of the buildings need plastics. And so I'm thinking the recycler is a good idea. That way we can start destroying some of this scrap and making ourselves some plastics. We do seem to have kind of a dryness problem, but then again, we live in the dry area, so that's good. Like, you don't want your people to be afloat, like, out in the swamp, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it looks like that was the problem. Each family wants their own home. So you don't need a house per 5 people. You need a house per family unit. Okay. Well, then I will keep an eye on that as time goes along. Let's go ahead and turn off that meter right there. I feel like that's been on for a little bit too long. But it's just so mesmerizing to look at. You just can't help yourself. So we've got one person at the refinery. Over here, I would say to get plastics for me, would you? So one of these, so we take 1 scrap and it turns into 2 plastics. That's good. Do we have radioactive material? What is that right there? Oh, radiation protection. That's how many protective radioactive suits we have. Gotcha. So that's also good to know. Water appears to be doing okay. The reason why I'm actually doing the water thing, or the plastic thing, is because I want to get a rain catch. Our storage is full, but I think we can expand it by upgrading this guy right here. Let's do it and just see what happens. I bet you that'll increase our cap. I don't know if we have like a total... We may have a total resources cap that is like all these things added together too, which is why we're running into problems. Or maybe it's just that they have too much water sitting inside this building right here and not enough people to carry it back to the base. I don't know. It could be either or. This is my first time playing, and this is an early access game with no guides or anything else other than the basic tutorial, which is kind of bare bones. So we're kind of feeling things out right now, but I'm okay with that. I enjoy that gameplay experience, going through and figuring out new things. It looks right here we can actually have people build and... Oh, we can set up what the builders do. So this is basically the central hub for the builders. Gotcha. Okay. I like it. I can live with it. These guys right here appear to be full up. The storage space of this building is running out. Good to know. What are you guys gathering over there? Just wood? What are they bringing back right now? Are you guys bringing back mushrooms? Or are you just, like, bringing back leftover wood? Oh, they're bringing back leftover wood. Okay, that's fine. I'm also going to put another gather spot. We got any big scrap piles around? Yeah, let's clear out these ones that are down south of the village, too. Because we are getting a little bit low on scrap arenas. So we've got 90 scrap down there. I assume at some point we're going to get, like, metal mines or something that are going to allow us to... I don't know. The map's pretty big, though. It looks like it goes on basically forever, so I think you're just supposed to keep expanding and grabbing scrap further and further and further out. We may not need it. It looks like the map actually has a lot of resources on it, so I think we'll be okay. We'll be all right. We're going to have a few cases of tetanus. We're going to bounce back. Everybody's going to be happy. Everything's going to be fine. Of that, I can virtually promise you. We have actually sorted out 6 plastics, too. That's really nice. I think we're probably going to need a lot of recyclers. That's my guess, is that we're going to need, like, a recycler for each resource. The people are happy, though, and they're having children, so our population is growing. It's really nice to know. Settlers without protective clothing. Okay, let's move that over to cloth, and then we will go to resources, and we've got a tailor right there. Oh, we need 12 cloth to make the tailor. Gotcha. All right. Well, let's build another recycler. Why not? We'll do another recycler so that the recyclers can tag team whatever jobs need to get done. We'll go with it. We'll expand our roads out right here so that we have walking space. The builders will take care of that perfectly fine. I suppose we'll run that out to there. That looks okay to me. Yeah, just a big old messy spaghetti base. That's what I'm talking about. The more spaghetti, the better. I like the way it's coming together. The game looks good. It really does. So we don't have a bug or anything when it came to the housing. It's just that we didn't know the specifics of what was making people not move in. They like to have their own house with their own family. So we're actually going to need more houses than we have population. And so I'll basically just use that notification whenever it pops up. I'll start building houses again. We only have 34 scrap, which I find to be kind of worrisome. Those things are making some weird noises. Is that the sound that a deer makes? I don't think I've ever heard a deer make a sound, in all honesty. We will raise the workforce over here. So we need another gatherer right there. I'm sorry, another refiner right there. We'll put them on cloth. I think that's a really good idea so that we can get the tailor up and running. It seems like our main problem right now is going to be people that don't have clothing. And so we'll keep like maybe 4 of these right here, and then we'll put the buildings that produce from all the things that come out of those buildings in kind of a ring around them. Try to keep our production somewhat efficient. Efficiency, we don't do that here at the Nerd Castle. It doesn't seem like they're particularly interested in using the roads, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they use the roads so long as it's more efficient to use the roads, but otherwise they just don't. How we doing down here? You guys bringing back lots of scrap? 10 children now, man. These people right here, these are some fertile people right here. Despite all the radioactive fallout and sterility, these people are popping out some children, man. Humanity survives. It finds a way. So we've got about 16 cloth right there. Very nice. That should be enough for us to make a tailor. I don't know how many people work at the tailor, but we're about to find out. A little worried about our scrap supply, but I think we'll be all right. Like, each one of these piles is bringing back 3 or 4. They're trying to get it done. It's taking time. I didn't expect food to be so easy to satisfy. Like, we are massively just knocking out food right now, so kudos to you guys, I guess. I am a little bit worried about our rain catch. I would like to get a rain catcher. That way we get a big influx of water whenever we need it. And we just put that right next door over here. I don't think it has stopped raining like the entire time we've been playing the game. And so my thought is that we're in a very temperate sort of Mediterranean area where we're going to end up with a whole lot of goodies. Let's go ahead and move this work area down so they continue to grab more scrap. But we barely seem to be staying ahead of all the scrap that we're spending. So we can have 2 people that work at the tailor. That sounds like an okay thing to me. What does the tailor do? They make neck scarves, radiation suits. They need plastic. They need that. They need that. Yeah, just make neck scarves. It's fine. I just want people to have clothing. Production limit. Maybe just keep that at like 10. We don't need to. As long as we have 10, that means everybody that's coming in as a new villager at least gets a neck scarf. So that'll be good. It says our children are on the downswing, but our adults are on the upswing. So I don't think our children are dying or anything else like that. I think that they are just growing up, as they tend to do. After we get done with this scrap pile, we'll rotate up to this one because it's a little bit closer. What's up with that? Ooh, the greenhouse ruin has a bunch of scrap inside of it. I didn't even see that up there. Okay. All right. Got some piggies over there. We will dismantle that. I think that boar hunting is probably a little bit dangerous, though. But yeah, I really actually am enjoying this. It's called Endzone, A World Apart. I'm interested in playing more, so if you like the video, make sure you hit it with a like. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day, so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, Endzone A World Apart. I'll have a link for you down below if you wanted to check the game out. Disclaimer, this is a closed beta. This was only given to some people for testing purposes. So if you saw anything during the course of this playthrough that you thought looked a little bit janky, or maybe something that wasn't working, this isn't even out yet. This is them throwing it out to the community so that they can start bug fixing and finding things and filing reports and all that kind of stuff. That being said, I haven't noticed anything major during my playthrough. I thought that maybe the housing thing was a bug for a second, but it's not. It was just me not understanding exactly how the housing system works. I do think the tutorial could be a little bit more in-depth in explaining some of the systems, like, hey, each family needs a house. So if you have 25 villagers and a household's 5 people, you don't need 5 houses. You're actually going to need closer to 10 because they pair up in little nuclear family units and they don't share their houses with other people, so not every house is going to be at maximum capacity. But I mean, we figured that out shortly enough. It only took us like 5-10 minutes before it clicked. So anyways, it wasn't that big of a deal. I'll see y'all next time. Thank you for stopping on in. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you check out all the links down below. Check out the Discord, check out the Twitch stream, all that fun stuff that I got going on. Other than that, I'll have something hot and fresh for you off the Indie Skillet tomorrow. How you doing? Take care, everybody.